Welcome everyone, it's Neo with Gator and Ardian. Are you ready to take your energy pills tonight? Card in the Energy Web is now live. Tonight we have very interesting topics to discuss and a special guest will join us too. But first we share the hidden riddle on the cover of the episode 2. As you see, I am the central point of control, what I am. You can please share your answers into the chat. Ardian, can you give us a hint about our guest tonight?
Yeah, our guest, he's a special guest. I guess everyone should know him. He's the one and only, the only chicken or rooster. I'm sorry, that ever entered a KFC and left it alive. If you couldn't guess him, he's Kobar.
Yeah, it's Koivar from the Energy Web community.
Welcome.
He is also actively working in the energy sector. Actually, he's part of one of the energy web validator companies, Belgium-based Fluvius, if I am not wrong. So welcome to Caught in the Energy Web. And now we can continue with you, Gator. What are the main topics for the tonight episode? I'm passing to you.
I didn't see, thanks by the way, I didn't see any responses regarding what people think the riddle is about. The riddle actually is about the switchboard, and nobody seemed to have guessed it. We added a little switchboard in the back of the sticker, and the riddle that we added is I am the central point of control. What am I? The switchboard is a central point of control in which you can manage different assets with digital identifiers in one system. So this also applies to battery sector, which we will address in this podcast. Um, we will talk about the stuff that we discussed last time briefly in the first episode that we did, where we explained that the Global Battery Alliance and is working on several things for the battery sector. And next to that, we found out that Surpass is actually involved with the GBA, the Global Battery Alliance, but this was already known to some extent at least, but it was acknowledged again in the last month. And it ties into what we knew from earlier, that the Global Battery Alliance and EnergyWeb tried, or at least EnergyWeb tried to form a collaboration with with the Global Battery Alliance, and we will talk a little bit about that as well. So this whole session is meant to talk about the battery sector and the global battery passports, but also about the switchboard role in that. And we have some addition if Kubo manages to get his speech working. Um, we have some information regarding Fluvius and EasyBet. We know a lot about it, but he will explain a little bit about it and what is going on there. Um, so yes, with that having said that, I think we can discuss a little bit about the Global Battery Alliance and what Ardian has written about that in the past via his Twitter profile. He's found some information regarding the Global Battery Alliance. It's not 100% certainly tied to EnergyWeb. And just a small disclaimer: we didn't do that in the beginning yet, but everything that is being said in this call in the Energy Web session, despite that it's being held in the official Energy Web Discord, is our own opinion and our own ideas regarding Energy Web and its collaborations. So we do some digging into that. We speculate a little bit, but we try to keep it factual to the most extent. And even when we found links, mention to what extent they're actually um, a part of what EnergyWeb is doing, or to what extent it's us filling in the blanks, so to say. So, Ardian, can you tell me a little bit maybe about the Global Battery Alliance and what you found regarding that in the past?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was typing to Kobar. He's having problems joining. So the Global Battery Alliance. Yeah. So the Global Battery Alliance, it's a globally mission to establish a sustainable and a responsible battery value chain, and it's made actually from quite a few members, 100 plus members. It was founded on 2017 at WEF, if I remember correctly. I think it was in partnership with McKinsey. And the part where energy I'm it's a speculation, but where I think Energy Web will be helping is the battery passport, which was officially announced and opened as a proof of concept this week at Davos, and we actually got pretty nice coverage for that, and we could see some good developments from the companies working on that battery passport. Uh, Yeah, and later on an MA from Jesse and Walter, we heard him mention that Energy Web is working with Fluvius, a Belgian company, to help create create a passport for batteries. And then he mentioned that working with Global Battery Alliance to scale this globally. But after that,
Mhm.
yeah, you found some pretty nice stuff. The surpass, but also I found last night that they are working with Gaia X to build the blockchain that they will be working on. I'll try to find that link. I think the steering committee guy from Tesla he liked that post, and that's how I found it. I will try to find it again, and I will share with you.
Okay. Also, if you can share the thread regarding the Global Battery Alliance, I think you shared that recently on your Twitter profile as well, right?
Yeah,
So maybe you
I'll
can
send.
share that again in this chat too.
Yeah, here I just shared it on the chat.
Right. Right. Good. Nice. And yes, you asked me if I found something regarding this. I didn't really find. So first of all, what I did find was the multiple links to the Global Battery Alliance. Who doesn't know that what the Global Battery Alliance is? The Global Battery Alliance is an international alliance to get battery passports ready, and these are being required by regulatory bodies, so by governments more and more. In 2024, July 2024, we will have this regulation implemented by the European Union. Um, so I'm just going to share my screen now. And what you can see here is this is something that I found on LinkedIn. I hope you can read it. It says EU authorities are talking about a mandatory electronic battery passport. From July 2024, the CO2 balance of batteries from the extraction of raw materials through production and recycling must be indicated. So battery production has a lot of greenhouse gas emissions that it leads to, and the European Union wants to have this included in the battery passport itself, so that we know what the extraction of raw materials to the production and recycling um, impacts, how it impacts the greenhouse gas production. So on the basis of that data, a maximum CO2 value for batteries is to be set, which will be applied by July 2027, but the information is required by July 2024. I also took information um, from the European Commission and earlier regulation regarding batteries and waste batteries. So this is the regulatory text for that in Brussels, December 2020. This is an old text. Um, it shows some information about battery regulation. I won't go through it all. It's too boring and complex. But I read through it, and the regulation is actually being implemented as we speak. This is not something that is just limited to the EU, but it's also a worldwide initiative to get more information on battery production ready. And the Global Battery Alliance is working on that. And within the European Union, there's also European bodies working on it. There's different initiatives started. But what is more is that Surpass, which is a initiative in which Energy Web cooperates as well, has gotten funding from the European Union, this project, to develop a battery passport as well. This battery passport is, or this passport that is being developed is not limited to batteries, but it's also focused around, for example, the fabrics sector. So I think it was textile actually, and another sector. So batteries is one sector to which this applies. And you can see that if you go to the Energy Web website, you can see that Surpass is a project that is mentioned there. So just briefly, I'll show you on my screen. Um, you notice that with the new website, there were different European projects being mentioned here. Here's EasyBet, by the way, about which we will talk a little bit as well, created by Fluvius. And what you actually saw is that these European projects, part of Horizon Europe, were being started and as have Energy Web participation in it. And this one is actually the one which is involved with the Global Battery Alliance. And you can see that here. It's mentioned for the textile sector, like I mentioned, the battery and electronics sector. And this is not just a battery passport, but a digital product passport, which is a little bit more broad than just batteries. And these guys have links with the Global Battery Alliance. So if you look at this, for example, this is a LinkedIn page that you see now about digital product passports, and it's posted 1 month ago by the Global Battery Alliance, in which they say that they're looking forward to the Surpass Digital Product Passport webinar, which was 3 weeks ago, more or less, and working with the consortium to share experiences regarding the battery passport. So there is involvement between the Surpass initiative and the Global Battery Alliance initiative, but we're not exactly sure what extent Energy Web plays a role in there, because there's multiple partners, also blockchain partners involved in the Global Battery Alliance. And before I'm talking too long, what you see is that, for example, Kria is also working on this. By the way, Energy Web is mentioned here as and tagged by the Global Battery Alliance as well. So what we see is that Kria has developed this digital product passport for two of the three pilots by the Global Battery Alliance. One of these is the Tesla pilot, and Kria has generated a solution called Resource for that. So here you see all the information about the battery. This is an example. And in the data, you can see what is being tracked. And you can see how the data collection is assured. And that's by Resource, which is, like I mentioned, initiative by Kria. The same thing for the Audi pilot project. This one is also provided the data collection by Resource. And they focused on cobalt tracking first, but they will expand that to other resources.
Gator, if I can add about this rescope here. Here, how we know Tesla is gonna build up, is gonna work on a blockchain. Here I just shared the Surpass Medium page, and also here on 5 months ago on this day, the guy from Tesla shared Rescoop, the blockchain powered tracer of cobalt from the mine to the electric vehicles, and you can see exactly the Rescoop you just mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a really cool initiative, and it's powered by Kria's solution to some extent. Kria has been working with Energy Web on several things in the past. We know, for example, that within the Dutch Blockchain Coalition, Kria has worked with Energy Web on a biofuel tracking system, which is a bit different, of course, than a battery passport, and doesn't indicate any collaboration presently. There's all this speculation, but we know that they're in contact with each other. And what we also know is that Surpass is being talked about within the Global Battery Alliance, and that they're connected as well. What I personally believe is that there is no direct, I don't think there's a direct partnership or direct product being built presently by Energy Web on the Global Battery Alliance. Maybe there is, but I do believe that this collaboration could start to exist, and that it would be related to Switchboard, which is what we talked about, what we wanted to talk about in this session as well. Switchboard is meant for asset management, digital asset management, or digitalized assets, I should say. So by giving batteries physical assets a digital identity, they can be made digital and managed via Switchboard. The tracking that Kriak presently does and the tracking of resources that also Circular does, for example, which is the third use case. So there's three pilots that were created. I'll share my screen again. You can see that the third one is also for Audi, by the way, and that they are being tracked by Circular. This is all resource materials tracking. So it's not necessarily about the digital identifier for the batteries, even though Kria does provide that solution as well, I believe. Um, it could also be a management portal where you can actually see the batteries and how they're being managed. And this is a battery passport, what it could look like. But this tracking and this whole um, you know, you can see all kinds of information in this passport, but the tracking of and managing of these assets is something that Switchboard could possibly provide. So that's why I think that would come in, and where there could be a link between the Global Battery Alliance and between Surpass, and why I believe that multiple blockchains can play a role in this kind of solution. But as I mentioned, it's all speculation presently. There's no definite link between the two, so that needs to be seen. I have to switch to Neo for a second because Neo has to leave soon. So I know that he wanted to share something. Maybe if we want to talk further about this, Kuba, we can do that after Neo's information that he wanted to share with us.
Yeah, thank you, Gator. So
Welcome.
you, Ardian, and our guest Quevar provide lots of great info on Global Battery Alliance, EasyBat, and so on. Legit and in detail information I'm talking about. But I want to talk something speculative, actually. Speculative but exciting before we end this episode. It's all my personal speculation, to be clear, and I will share my screen right now. Yes, okay. Can you see it? Can you see
Yes.
the screen? Okay.
Yes, it's good.
Now, EnergyWeb recently updated the official website, energyweb.org. Let's look at it together. Great partners, by the way. So this is EnergyWeb is providing decentralized operating system for the enterprises, but they are also about to launch their own ready-to-use solutions, like green proofs and asset management and data exchange, right? While they were updating the website, they added the Tesla Model 3 picture, as you see right now, on the data exchange solution. Podcast listeners can also see this picture if they visit the official website and scroll a little bit down.
Yeah, that's odd. That's really odd.
Yeah,
In my opinion,
and
it's
something. Okay, that's something. But let's look one more thing. Can you see it? This page.
yeah.
Hmm.
Good.
Okay, EnergyWeb is an open source technology, so we can check their codes. This is EnergyWeb's GitHub page. We are looking at the DID registry codes and folders. As you see, I'm gonna search about the Tesla. Okay, Tesla Model 3 again on claim data, name, capacity, and another one.
And when was this updated? Can you see that there as well?
Yeah, it's updated 3-4 months ago, but this info is older than that.
Yeah,
They didn't
because I
update.
recall seeing that before as well. Yeah,
Oh, 2 days ago. It's actually new.
interesting.
Um, yeah, maybe it's updated with the page, web page. Web page
Energy
was
Web,
updated just last night, I think.
yeah, last night. So you can call it a coincidence, of course, but no one can make me believe in that. Sorry. You know why? Because EnergyWeb also updated its validator page a few months ago. I don't
Uh-huh.
know if you remember.
Yeah.
And they didn't add the Vodafone and NG logos at first. Do you remember
Mhm.
that, Gator?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
They mentioned we need permission, I think.
Yes, because they were waiting an approval from them. They are already validators, by the way. So
Hmm.
this foundation, Energy Web Foundation, never uses another company's logos in their website without an approval, right?
Yeah.
Especially non-member ones. So this is
Uh,
so exciting.
yeah, this could be a stock photo, by the way. But yeah, Energy Web always made sure to not bring this kind of photos, which on the
It's
crypto
definitely
side
Tesla
it's
model.
really
Yeah,
exciting and really bullish on the crypto side. But yeah, Energy Web never shared this kind of pictures, which is quite good
interesting,
for us.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And from Korea, that is one thing that I'm wondering about. Korea, the Dutch company that works with Tesla for the cobalt tracking and is going to expand to other resources. They work with Tesla officially. Last year, I already found that they are included in the official Tesla year in review, so to say, or the papers that they bring out every year. And as a partner, Tesla has, I believe, two blockchain partners or one that is most prominent, and that is Kriya for the materials tracking. Kriya is actually working together with Energy Web on some things, like I mentioned, with Dutch Blockchain Coalition. So there could be links there. It could be that Energy Web provides some sort of solution other than the materials tracking, maybe the digital identifier, or maybe the switchboard solution for this battery passport. But that is speculative, as you said, Neil. It is interesting that they added a Tesla picture. I don't recall seeing specific brands being added before. It could also be testing, right? It could be that they want to see if it integrates with the Tesla Model 3 and just did the testing in the programming side for that. Um, so it will remain speculation, but it's interesting that the function is at least there. So solution is
One
the
thing,
yeah.
yeah, one thing with Energy Web is always the speculations always ends becoming true. So yeah, I'm with Neo here. I believe in.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
my
We had
friend.
we had
We want to
crazy
believe. We
crazy
want to believe.
speculations. Yeah, we had crazy speculation about Tesla, about BlackRock, about every kind
Oh,
of company.
that BlackRock.
Yeah, even one of the I think team members from Energy Web passed to Tesla. It was hired by Elon Musk himself, I believe. The
Yeah,
25 guns or 24 guns.
Yeah,
He chose
yeah.
a team of 25 people and he hired them directly. He was on the room.
Yeah, he did the hiring personally. I know. This is, of course, also known information from the past, and the same thing for what was it again? I believe there was also this one solution, right, that we had with Tesla before, a link to it that we talked about. It was with grid
Out,
singularity, I
out,
believe.
yeah, out to bidder.
Motivator, yeah, D3A from Grid Singularity,
Yes.
and that we have several tweets of that we shared in the past to show Tesla connections. It was actually Mario Pavlovich was the guy, by the way, from the 24 guns or 25 guns from Tesla. Um, and he worked for Energy Web in the past and switched to Tesla. Of course, it doesn't say anything, but it means that Elon Musk at least knows about Energy Web. Otherwise, because he interviewed Mario Pavlovich personally,
Yeah,
um, so he must
he
know
still,
about the name at least. But
yeah,
it's
he
all
still likes.
speculation with different links. Yeah.
I'm sorry. He still likes the Energy Web posts when they share on
Mhm.
Twitter. Yeah, it's quite. He's still. I think it's connected, or he still watches to the old job he did.
Mhm.
yeah,
Uh,
of course he is.
I would do the same thing with my old jobs. I watch my previous job as well, and I like their posts and stuff as well. You know, it's a normal thing to do, a human thing to do. But it is bullish that he was hired to Tesla and that he spoke to Elon Musk in the past, right? So he worked for Energy Web right before that. Um, but anyway, that is all out in the open for a while now, and it led to all the Tesla speculation in the past.
uh,
Um,
there were even Energy Web founders that
mhm.
visit Tesla manufacturer. It was Anna,
Yeah,
I think. Anna,
Mhm.
Anna and Edward Hisey.
It was Anna, Ed, and Erwin Small, I
Ah, yes,
believe.
Erwin too. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, cool. So yeah, we have got quite some links, but nothing concrete to prove it, I believe. Or am I wrong on there?
Yeah, it's our speculation.
Yes,
but
exactly.
based on facts, actually.
Uh, I see we got a response from Daniel in the chat here, actually. So I'm just going to read it out loud so that podcast listeners can hear it as well. Daniel says, "Hi guys, I can quickly tackle this. Just a photo on the website question. So nothing else. The photo is a stock photo of an electric car, which seems to be a Tesla car, not a Tesla logo. We have the same car on our first website as well. Then he says, keep an eye out for on social media for official announcements. Awesome sessions, keep it on. And he says, yes, indeed, Mario Pavlovich was hired by Elon himself and is now part of the 25 Guns of Tesla. And he said, hope this is appreciated. Again, awesome session. Yeah, this is definitely appreciated. Thank you,
Yes.
Daniel. And
Gator, Gator. As I said before, no one can make me believe that this is random. So I am stick with that. Thank you, Danny.
we want to believe. You've taken a purple pill, I
Yeah, of
see.
course.
Not the red pill, not the blue pill, but the purple one. Good. We're in the Matrix after all, right? Okay. Anything else that you wanted to add to that, Neo? Because I believe you said you had to go soonish from now.
Yeah, I had to leave actually. That was a great session, I believe. Koibar point out very interesting things on the Energy Web tech stack and related to Fluvius, of course.
Hmm?
And also your speech was very good. And that's it actually. I really enjoyed the session and I am passing to you. And
Thank
I
you,
had
Neo,
to leave,
for your.
sorry.
Have a great evening, guys, or a great day wherever you are, and see you next time. Bye bye.